Hi, I'm Chris Kevney-Cox. This is Steve Penn, actually an employee here at Shield Museum of Natural History and an educator.
Hi, how are you doing? I'm a science teacher. I'm involved in out-of-county outreach, and I also do professional development here at the Shield Museum. And what we're doing today is we're introducing students to science fair projects. We're talking about categories of science fair projects and examples of science fair projects, which is what I have behind me. Chris is a resource that we've been called on from our county 4-H, and has been a great resource as far as bringing in other groups of students and having access to other resources that we don't have immediate access to bring those things to bear and basically round off the county's science fair projects more effectively.
I started about 3 years ago, and I'd approached the school system, Gaston High School system, the LEA, and the science instructional specialist for that school system, Ms. Tammy Mims, about putting together a STEM opportunity for youth that would take them outside the classroom and allow them to kind of explore areas of their own interest, expand upon those with opportunities to grow and compete and excel, and we just naturally gravitated to a science fair. One thing led to another, and brainstorming was just, we had these grand ideas. We're like, we're going to make a science fair. We're going to get 100 kids to come to it, and we're going to try and get all these schools involved in representation. And lo and behold, now we're looking at, wow, our research submissions topped 417 students this year. Over 240 projects were submitted for research review, research proposal review. And about the only thing that stopped us this year from those turning out was we had to shift days on our calendar for the actual event. But it's been growing exponentially over the last 3 years, and we're excited about the involvement, actually looking at the capacity of the museum. The big strength about this particular program is the diversity of partnerships that we've managed to connect around the community. Everybody is interested in STEM. It's a national initiative, it's a local initiative to develop those skill sets that we need from a technical workforce, or to get kids excited about and prepare them for college entry. This is where it's at, and everybody sees that connection. We have corporate partners from the community connecting the Shield Museum to the school system, which is not unique, but then carrying that one step further and involving other organizations like 4-H and like regional homeschool groups and things like that. It's tying together everybody who has a common need and getting them access to those resources that can make it happen. That's a huge plus. Beyond anything else, I think for me, it's a chance for me to draw efficiencies from all the programming that I put together and draw on all the resources that I have to put it into students. And when you see them presenting their project, not only do you see the light bulbs that have come on along the way and they can articulate that, but this includes all the life skills that we're about. It includes communication skills. It includes documentation skills, presentation skills, reporting skills, critical evaluation, and putting themselves on the line. They're nervous. They are so nervous. And I know from a 4-H perspective, we've seen this in kids that are just working on presentation and public speaking.
And I looked into the eyes of the kids, and they get it, and they understand it, and that's something that I really like to see. Awesome.
Opportunity that I truly believe in for my kids. I mean, there is a selfless aspect to it, and that I really believe in what I'm doing, but I'm carrying baggage with me that points all arrows in this direction because I have a ton of fun doing this. I mean, it is work, and that's one of the negatives. And it is work, and that is one of the positives, because it's work in science and getting youth excited, and they're genuinely excited. They don't get up and do a presentation, and yeah, there's the anxiety there, and then they give their presentation, and they go sit down, and they listen to other ones, and then they get judged, and they just hand it in, and they go away, and they go home. This excitement lasts for weeks, and we involve everybody in it, the whole community and what's going on, and the teachers get excited, and they bring it back to their classrooms, and it's infectious. And I love science. So, and science isn't for everybody, but it should be.
an event like this was something that we were ill prepared for, and it's probably good that we were, because we probably wouldn't have tried it if we knew what was coming. But it is overwhelming at times, the amount of effort that goes into, and this is, in all honesty, I consider it a success when we talk about youth development. When we talk about the opportunities that the youth are exposed to, the learning opportunities that they have, the developmental opportunities that they have, just being involved in something that makes them come alive and makes them proud of a product that they put together. This is a huge impact, and we'll get into impacts later. But to make it all come together, it is a year-round activity. It's not what we would consider a traditional 4-H competition that you can prepare for. You maybe take months to pull together 4-H volunteers from the local area to help you judge. You set up a stage, and for something like fashion show, they get evaluated and they walk the plank, and you send in the results to the next level, and maybe do some evaluation on what did this impact the youth who was involved. This is literally a partnership between community organizations that you spend all year marketing to, trying to get financial resources from, volunteers that review a litany of proposals from students who are serious or who are otherwise not serious about it, but professionals who believe in this activity, and keep in contact with them. So there's communication that goes between the universities and the colleges and the businesses in the local area and all the youth programs that are going on. There is classroom visits, and this is all tied to this one program.
There's so many things in our culture that are immediate gratification oriented. This is not. Right. This requires self-control and discipline, and it has a delayed outcome. Right. But most productive people in life, you think about Stephen Covey's 7 ways,
7 habits of
highly effective people. It's delay gratification, delay gratification, delay gratification, and then when you do achieve something, it has authenticity.
I mean, this is it. This is the holy grail of what I'm trying to get across in one efficient, and it's a lot of time and a lot of energy. But I could easily take elements out of this, and probably should apply it to my reporting and say, hey, guess what? Guess how many numbers I had in presentation? I had 430 doing presentations in my county this year. Well, no, it wasn't County Activity Day. It was the County Science Fair. Hey, all right. Guess what? I had 460 reports handed in, project records. Well, no, I really didn't submit them to project records at the county or state level, but we had a county science fair, and guess what? They did it. Oh, and guess, I mean, wow. It's a lot of effort, but it's huge for me.
We are being immersed in a more technologically advanced culture, whether we like it or not. And I see Chris, more than anybody else, engaging that. This is an area that has gone through tremendous upheaval. We are no longer a simple manufacturing area. There are mill jobs that have gone away. They're in China. They will never come back. And so the strong back is not going to meet the demands for the world tomorrow. The demands for the world tomorrow, and to meet our economic needs, are going to have to come from science, technology, and engineering.
I am 4-H. And that representation goes with me in each one of the programming elements that I do. That is my introduction, that is my fulfillment during the program, and I try and extend as best I can the resources 4-H provides to support the STEM program here in the local area and the youth that are pursuing that. When I look back, not to get too philosophical, but when I look back through the 4-H curriculum that I've been able to evaluate several pieces of and review formally, it is all, to me, there are very few elements of that curriculum nationally that are not science. It's agricultural science, it's textile science, it's it is engineering, it is technology, it's computers, it's small engines, it's bicycle repair, it's animal science, it's raising and husbandry, it's large animal veterinary science and anatomy. I mean, if you look at all of these curriculums, we just don't present it as science. We try and cater to a lack of intimidation to youth because we think they're going to have an adversity to calling it that. So does the 4-H brand get lost? Genuinely, I think in a lot of the programming that I do, it does get lost. I think it's eclipsed by a lot of the organizations that claim a larger role with science that are involved in what I do. So when we hold a program at the Shield Museum of Natural History, which is a very logical place to have this STEM stuff associated with in the local area, I think it becomes instantly associated with that museum, and not 4-H, and not because of anything malicious that the Shield is doing to edge out, the 4-H brand name. Quite the contrary, they try and highlight it as much as they can with the programming itself. There is not already a historical association between 4-H and science, and I think that's where a lot of it gets lost. It translates directly, my programming and my focus on STEM translates directly to youth opportunities that we hold at a more traditional level. I have what I would consider more conscious involvement of STEM at my presentations. Seen in my project record books. In fact, to tell you the truth, probably a better organization because they're exposed to methodologies that have to do with the subject matter that they're presenting. In attendance for my summer programming, which is in a lot of cases specifically geared towards preparing them for participation in events just like this. So I do see it, and I think culturally my county is beginning to associate 4-H, what is 4-H when they're first hit with it, with STEM opportunities. But I think it's a relationship that's taking time that, I'll be honest, I think does get lost when I partner with organizations that have more of an intimate relationship with that subject matter.